Show today with just such a fascinating guest. I've been so excited ever since his assistant confirmed with me that he could join me today. And even since we got that confirmation, Green Book, the movie, got more awards. I've sort of lost track, but last Sunday, they won the Golden Globe for Best Picture, Musical, or Comedy. They also won for Best Screenplay and Best Supporting Actor, Mahershala Ali. Then they picked up the Best Picture from the Producers Guild of America, and Mahershala won the Supporting Actor, the Critics' Choice Award. And there are many more. And coming up on Tuesday, the Academy, the Oscar nominations come out, and my money's on Green Book, folks. And it's not just because Jim Burke, the producer, is an Edina native, but it's just got the things that people like and love. And indeed, it was a story that had a lot of love in it for the filmmakers and their teams. And I am just so honored and thrilled to have native Minnesotan producer of Green Book, Jim Burke, join me. Hi there, Jim. Happy Sunday.
Hi, thank you. Thank you very much.
Well,
what an introduction. Wow.
Can you tell that I'm like gushing to talk to you? I love movies, and I have to be honest, I have not yet seen this movie because I've been trying to watch all my SAG-nominated movies so I can vote before the awards next week. So I will be watching it this week, but I've seen a ton of clips, and it is just, it's a heartwarming story, Jim. What made you want to be part of this?
Well, for me, it started, I have a long-time friendship with the director, Peter Farrelly. He has in the past made sort of big, broad comedies, Dumb and Dumber and Kingpin, and There's Something About Mary. But he's also a novelist, and I've read his novels, and he has written novels that are both funny and sort of complex. And so for years, I've been trying to encourage him by sending him books or things like that to let's make something together that's about something, but also entertaining. And he always said no. And then finally he heard this idea about Dr. Donald Shirley and his driver, Tony Lip. And he pitched it to me. And I just was taken by it, but also I had complete faith in him as a filmmaker. So that was it started with my belief in Peter Farrelly.
Which isn't that great, and it does go to show you, Jim, how much relationships do matter, right? And even though he was known for,
but it's also seeing things that other people don't see.
Great, no, that's a great point. Well, you know, the story itself is one that at the time, it was set in a time in our country where it would be shocking for a black man and a white man to become so close. But we are today still dealing with some of these issues of race. This listener is texting this. I want to read this to you. Please tell the Green Book guy, Jim Burke, that I loved the movie. I was 11 in 1962 and in Minnesota, so largely unaware of the depth of prejudice at that time. Thanks for the refresher, enlightenment. Also, thanks for the memories. I took my driver's test in a car just like the one in the movie. Made me smile to see it.
Wow. Yeah. And it's not, the sort of war against discrimination and prejudice isn't over. It's just changed. And you can't, the sort of laws that were abolished by the Civil Rights Act, you can't be so overt about it, but there still are people that judge people by the color of their skin or their religion, and it's just done in a different way.
I'm talking to Jim Burke. He is the Golden Globe winning producer of Green Book, nominated for many more awards, and we'll find out what Oscar has to say on Tuesday as the nominations come out. If you want to chat with him, give us a call, 651 or 866-989-9226. He is from Edina, and I'll say the great city of Edina. We share a hometown, Jim. It is
Edina.
Edina. Yep. Every day I need attention, as some of our detractors say. Well, you're getting a lot of great attention for this movie. But what was one of the most, I guess, sort of surprising moments for you making a film like this?
Well, I mean, just the act of making a movie is chock full of surprises, and that's the sort of thing about filmmaking, is that each time you enter into a film, you're going to a place you've never been before, and you encounter sort of issues and situations that are, some of them familiar to you, but others that you don't know anything about. And you have to learn about it quickly and then make it all work. So, I mean, I don't know, there's a billion stories, but if when you see the film, you'll see that weather is a component of it. And in film, we use things like rain machines and snow machines. But they always look a little fake. And so on the big day, we had a giant rain machine out there, and we were shooting down New Orleans. And on that night, it poured. So we didn't even need to use it.
Did that save some money, Jim, for the cost of the film, too?
No, it didn't save any money, but it made it look realer. Yeah.
That's
and then the next day, we had a snow machine. And we're in New Orleans, and that night it snowed all night long, and not just a little snow. It's the kind of snow that's stuck on the ground, and the kind of snow we have in Minnesota, and they never have in New Orleans, ever. People didn't know what to do. So we were sort of being looked after by somebody, or something up there that made our way a little bit easier.
Yeah, the movie gods were shining down. Film. Yeah, absolutely. Right. What was it like, Jim Burke, working with Viggo Mortensen and Mahershala Ali?
Well, it was fantastic. I mean, first of all, they had become friends with one another. We're in the midst of it now, but 2 years ago, they were on the same awards circuit where you go from one award ceremony to the other, and you see the same people over and over again. That's what we're experiencing now with Green Book. And they had, sort of professed a mutual respect and admiration for one another. And, but when you're an actor, you never know what opportunities will come your way. And so we went out to Vigo first to play Tony Lip, and which was a sort of daring choice because he's like Danish American and doesn't really look Italian. There's so many big Italian actors out there, but we just knew he was a fantastic actor. And so when he said yes, we went to Mahershala, and because they knew each other and they wanted to work with one another, that was a quick yes. And that they were, I will say that they were the two most committed actors I've ever worked with. In other words, they couldn't know enough about the people they were playing. Viggo, he ate his way into, gaining 50 pounds, not with the help of a doctor or anybody else. He just power chowed on pizza and spaghetti and pasta and things like that. And really put on the weight, and to a point where the costume designer said, "Hey, can you tell Viggo to slow it down a little bit?" Because
he was enjoying his job a little too much.
Well, they fit him, 3-4 weeks before we start shooting. They start gathering up all the wardrobe he'll wear. But as the weeks went on, his waistline kept growing, and getting to be a little bit of a tight fit. So anyway.
That's awesome. I am talking with Jim Burke. He is the award-winning producer of the movie Green Book, in theaters everywhere, nominated for pretty much everything. I know you don't set out to get the awards and the accolades, but it's got to feel pretty good, Jim, right?
Well, yeah. I'm a producer, and so last night my fellow producers said that Green Book's the best film of the year. How much better can you feel?
That exactly. Now, I've seen you in a tux. I was watching the Golden Globes, saw you up there on stage. I hear, my sources here in Minnesota say you're a pretty low-key guy. You give everybody else the credit. So did you have to kind of push yourself to get the tux on and get your award show on through the course of the season?
Yeah, no, I don't enjoy this this part of it. It's filled with anxiety, and you never know if you're going to win or not win, or somehow it all really matters during that ceremony. I don't know why, but but yeah, no, it's not the most fun part of it. And my my sister-in-law calls me the most boring producer in Hollywood, which I am proud of. You're not going to find me in the back of a paddy wagon.
Well, and that just makes you all the more cool, just that you are so low key and you make it about your team and not about you. And
no, I make it about the film.
Okay.
That's what the only thing that matters is the film. It doesn't matter about me. It doesn't matter about ego or anything like that. I want to make a good movie that will last stand the test of time.
Yeah, well,
that's always my goal.
So any thoughts as we're 2 days ahead of the Oscar nominations? What's the feel for you and the crew right now?
Well, we're confident we'll be nominated. Yeah,
well, that's good. That's good to hear. Yeah. I thought you were going to be like, oh, whatever happens, happens. That's good. I like it.
No, it's going to happen. It would be a shock if it didn't happen.
It would be a shock.
It would be a shock. It would be.
I agree.
Thunder. But it could not happen. It's so. But the way I'm feeling right now is I believe that we will be nominated for an Oscar. Yeah, right. And in sort of multiple categories.
Are there any other movies that really knocked your socks off this season, Jim?
Yeah, sure. I liked a Korean film called Burning. That was amazing. But you got to remember, you're not talking to I don't watch. I watch everything, but I like, because I've gotten older doing this, I have a super particular taste that's not for everybody. So, but Burning is a really, really cool film. Roma's a good movie.
Yeah, Roma's getting a lot of awards too.
8th Grade.
8th Grade, okay.
8th Grade was good. I'm trying to think what else. It's sort of sad that I really don't like that many movies.
Well, there are also a lot of bad movies out there, but we have what I hope you'll believe is a good surprise in studio right now.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Jimmy.
Do you know who that is?
It's probably one of my sisters.
It is. Can you guess which one? Katie
Burke, yeah.
Way to go, Jimmy.
And Katie is part of my intel on you, Jim Burke. Katie, I bet you're just so proud of your brother.
I'm incredibly proud of him, as you know, but I'm loving the two of you talking because Roshini is such a great interviewer. I knew that you guys would have chemistry right off the top. So,
well,
Jimmy,
it's the Edina tribe, Jim Burke. It sounds
like Vigo and Mahershala.
It is, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm happy to come to any Oscar parties with you. By the way, I fit right in. What do you want to tell the people of Minnesota? I think when any one Minnesotan, gets this kind of a stage, we're all very proud of you. What would you like to say to the people of the state?
Well, I'm just, I don't know. It's where I'm from, and it's who I'll always be. I grew up, Katie and our dad, had a movie theater at the IDS Center. And I used to ride the bus downtown and watch sort of foreign films, art films, because that's what he was showing. And I wasn't necessarily interested in those movies, but they were free.
Right.
And somehow that informed my taste as a filmmaker. And then I worked at another movie theater, the Yorktown, where I would see movies over and over again. So it's all part of being from Minnesota is all part of where I kind of dreamed about business. The show business. And my dad once told me, after I told him about something really, kind of amazing that happened to me, he said, "God love you, Jimmy. You've been watching movies and going to parties all your life. Now you made a career out of it."
Way to turn that passion and pastime into your career, Jim Burke. Well,
that's a good piece of advice.
Yes, that I love it. It's a good piece of advice for everyone listening. Well, the nominations for the Oscars come out on Tuesday. My money's on Jim Burke and that whole team in that film. And like he said, he'd be shocked if they're not nominated. So we will be tuning in for those. The actual Oscar ceremony, February 24th, in just about a month, just over a month. Jim Burke, such a pleasure chatting.
Can I just say this? When the Oscars are being nominated, I'll be driving down to Palm Springs with my friend Scott Carencross from Minnesota.
All right.
Very nice.
Teddy Nowak, because we go on an annual golf trip with a bunch of us Minnesotans. Every year we've been doing it for 30-some-odd years. And so I'll be either listening to it on the radio or something like that. Checking.
I think they're listening right now, too, Jimmy.
Yeah, you can maybe say a little shout out to them.
Yeah.
I just did.
I know it, exactly. And Ann Carencross is listening.
The whole, the Burke family of siblings is listening, and all your nieces and nephews. Well, Jim Burke, congratulations on all the great things so far. Good luck in the weeks ahead.
We're so proud of you, Jimmy.
Thank you so much.
We love you.
Love you too.
All right,
Okay.
and hopefully you'll come in studio next time you're in Minnesota, Jim.
Meadow wants to know if you're her uncle.
Yes, I'm her.
Okay. All right. Thanks so much, Jim. You have a great rest of the award season.